Paid to do this shit.
All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Unsolicited Opinions, where we will bring you real, raw, and relevant content.
Relevant.
I am one of your hosts today, Ryan J. And on my right, we have
Malika.
All right. And across me, we have a special guest.
Hey,
I'm going to let you introduce yourself.
Big Unk.
Jamo in the building.
Okay. So today's topic is college, career, passion, and purpose. And the reason why this topic has been chosen is because I feel like a lot of people, they have this idea of the perfect path of you go to high school, you graduate,
What
and you
life
go to
should be.
what life should be like. You go to college, and then you're supposed to get a good job out of college, pay off your debt, and we feel like that's the case, but that's not reality.
That's what we're taught.
Yeah, that's what we taught.
That's what we're taught. That's the best way to go. But typically, sometimes they don't go that way.
Usually it don't go that way. Usually don't go that way. So we're gonna start off with school. Like, what was y'all experience with school, and how did y'all feel about school at the time?
For me, like high school or like
You start from high school.
Okay, high school for me, it was hard because I didn't want to be there, but I knew like my mom and my dad were gonna be like, if you don't graduate, like we got some problems.
Right.
But when I went to college, it was a different story.
Absolutely. What about you? How you feel about school?
High school?
Yeah.
Nah, it wasn't my thing, man. I didn't like school.
It's hard.
You know, it wasn't even that it was hard, because when I applied myself, I did well, but it was boring.
Mm-hmm.
And I was creative, and school wasn't challenging me.
Too structured.
It wasn't challenging my creative side.
Right.
So, stop going.
Yeah. For me, I never really cared for school. I always felt like I would never use majority of the things I was in school in life.
Man.
The most I got out of school was elementary school. The basics, the English, the maths, all that stuff. So for me, I never liked school. Like even college, I only went to school to play ball. That was it. I knew I wasn't gonna use half the stuff that I used. I knew my major was trash. Like for
Do
me,
you think most athletes go to college for sports?
I mean, yeah,
because
for
that's
the most
the
part,
route. That's the route to get you to where you want to go. So you're like, okay, if I have to do this, I'll do this.
Yeah, we feel like we can either go further in sports or we use sports as a way to get an education for free. Because it's like, why not go if
That too.
Yeah, but that's not always the case. Like I feel like college isn't needed. Like they make us feel like college is so needed. Like we have to go. Like that's the only one way, and that's not the way. I feel like I don't think I would have went to school if it wasn't for basketball, to be honest with you.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel like when I took 4 years off of college, and it was like pulling teeth to get me to go back, but I just knew I had to go back because society makes you feel like you have to go back. But that got me nowhere but more in debt with loans and stuff like that. And I'm still really not even applying my degree. Like I am, but I'm not. So it's just more debt.
How y'all feel about the system, like what they teach you in school? Like just the overall system of like you have to take this class, and like what do you think about the system of college?
See, that's the thing about school in general. I think that like school is important for certain things. See, I stopped going to school. Like I'm not saying that was cool, but I feel like I learned all I was gonna learn to apply to my life at that time. It was 12th grade. So, and I probably should have finished because I think it's important. I think school teaches discipline.
Yeah, it does teach that.
Structure, and of course you need things like math and things like that. So you got to learn. But I think that that what they do is it's a lot of fluff as well.
Yeah,
and they should be doing things to teach kids life skills.
Right.
Home ec was like my favorite class. Learning how to
I
cook.
loved home ec.
Yeah.
Learning how to cook, like, take care of like the little baby. That made me be like, I don't want no kids no time soon. that baby crying in the middle of the night.
I
So
love cooking. Yeah.
yeah.
So post college, we get this degree. We all happy. We excited. We think we finna go out in the world and be on top of the mountain. I'm finna get paid 6 figures off the rip, and that don't happen.
No.
So, what was your goal coming out of college? Like, what career did you want for yourself coming out of school?
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't have a ideal career. I was not that person that was like, I want to be a doctor and I want to be this type of doctor. I just wanted a degree just to have a degree.
Yeah.
Just to say that I had one. But I felt like hospitality was the best way to go because I like to travel. The travel industry was a cool place. It was growing. It's always growing. So I was like, okay, why not do this? But I do feel like you can really have almost any job in hospitality without a degree.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of just went to go say I got that discipline and being able to finish school.
Yeah.
Hospitality is a necessity, though.
Why you say that?
I mean, it is.
Yeah.
It's a good field because people always need somewhere to stay.
Got you.
Always.
So what I like about your situation is, although you stopped going to school, you found ways to create your own career. Like you didn't depend on the outside to dictate what you wanted to do. You was like, I mean, I'm just do what I do.
All I know is Uncle Hustle.
Yeah.
Anybody that know Uncle know he had the shop, the candy store.
Yeah.
All kind of hustles. And that was my thing is that I didn't quit school and just lay around and bum around and start, I stopped going to high school and went to barber college. So I kept educating myself. That's the thing. It's like, you don't got to go to college, but you still got to learn. You know what I'm saying? So even though I left high school, I continued to learn. I perfected my craft.
Yeah.
And then went on to become an entrepreneur, opened a barbershop, and then another barbershop. And
what was the name?
Man, run the list. We need the list. Run the list down. We want to know everything.
I remember
from
Platinum Touch. Wasn't it Platinum Touch?
Platinum Touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember opening the day when they cut down the ribbons. I was there.
My
I remember all that.
God.
So just run down the list of the things that because for those people who didn't finish school, who felt like, damn, like I'm stuck, I don't know what to do. Run down the list of the businesses that you owned and did over the years.
Ideas.
Man.
Starting with what age?
Starting with I would say about 8 years old. I used to find stuff around the house. And my auntie, she would always have yard sales. So I find stuff, go over there and start selling stuff at her yard sales. And once I learned how to make money, I was like, man, this the lick right here. So then I started selling my school clothes, my old school clothes. Whatever I could find, I was always trying to exchange hand in hand.
Right.
Right? And then so one day, one of my older cousins, I was about 12 by this time, one of my older cousins, he left some clippers at my house. So one of the little kids next door needed a haircut, So of course I jacked him up, but
All right.
But that was the start of me,
Yeah, the curiosity. Like, I want to learn how to do this. I want to do this right.
And then $3 a head, went to $5 a head, $10 a head, 15, 20, 25. And that was my real first business was the barbershop.
Okay.
Started in the basement. I remember that.
Started from the bottom, now we here.
Yeah, started in the basement, man. That's a good. Not to just depend on something, always just finding the hustle. So I know you had the barbershop, you had the candy store.
Man, people in Hammond will never forget
The sweet spot.
Uncle.
Yeah.
People my age will never forget that. And I used to be so excited to be like, my uncle, that's my uncle.
Yeah.
That's my uncle's. What?
Like, do you realize like
that was a staple in the neighborhood.
Do you realize the history of when you say the sweet spot, that's a conversation. Like if I go post on Facebook today, y'all remember the sweet spot, I'll have 100 comments. Like that's history within the city. So
and then you get some people who even posted not even just family, but people who posted that was just patrons of the business.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think you understand how big that was, and I really wish we could have brought something like that to Texas. I just don't know where it would thrive.
Yeah, it's so different.
I don't know where it would thrive unless we go to Arlington. Yeah, probably Arlington.
Need some close knit neighborhoods.
Yeah, for sure.
People who support those kind of businesses.
So those we had the barbershop, we had the sweet spot. I remember the cars,
next door,
the rims.
shop.
That was you?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
What?
Come on, man.
Really, nigga?
Another one for that.
Wow.
Really, nigga?
Yeah.
Okay, I never knew that one.
Yeah, it's a list, man. What else?
Selling used cars online. But then we also used a lot at the restaurant. We had the soul food restaurant.
Yeah, I remember.
I would use that a lot to store my cars.
Mm-hmm.
Sell used cars.
Yeah, man. That's man, it's a lot that goes with that. So
See,
what?
I don't have that like thought process to say, let's take this and make it into this. I don't think like that. And it's like, how do you have that? How do you just, is that like something that's natural, or you just have to have the hunger to want that?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that.
I think it's a gift.
It gotta be.
Like it's not. That's not something everybody's born with. Like that's something that, like you said, at 8, like you don't realize your gifts, but you know you good at this. So if at 8 years old, if you start out like that, that's my gift.
Yeah, they say that you know what you want to do when you're a child.
Yeah.
Like as a child, you already kind of have what you're good at mapped out. It's just that if that's actually expanded on.
I want to speak on that. You know what I feel like stops us? Because kids have the craziest ideas,
Yeah.
but their imaginations are way better than adults.
Yeah.
I think once we get older and we navigate, it's so much of like, well, you can't do this because it hasn't been done, or that's not realistic. Nothing sounds realistic until it's done.
Yeah.
So I think we know, but it's just once we get older, we hear too much of, you need to get this job to make this money, or there's no market for this, and all of this stuff, and that kills the creativity from being a child to coming into adulthood.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
What you want to do as a child?
Man, I don't really know, to be honest. I liked anything that had to do with writing, like poetry and writing and music. So poetry, writing, and music. Like I think if I just would have been pushed harder to pursue any of those three things, I naturally would have just came into. So I could have been something like in the industry, writing music for people, or just something of that nature. But I don't think that was a real career goal at the time. Like I don't think people really saw that as something to do.
Right.
So that wasn't something that my parents were going to push me to do.
Okay. So because that wasn't something that your parents pushed you to do, we chose to have real jobs.
Yeah.
What are some of the jobs y'all worked?
I'm going to let go first.
My first job, I think my only job. Yeah, my only job I had was for the city of Hammond.
Hey.
We would come work for the summer.
Hey, me and Unc used to be in that truck,
Yeah.
hit a couple corners, duck off, and go to sleep.
Well,
What?
yeah, I forgot about real estate. So that was my last business. Well, let me see. so that was my biggest business. That, well, I can say one of my biggest failures was because I can kind of say a failure because, well, so the real estate, got into real estate, bought a house, rehabbed it, put it on the market, and that was 2008. So 2008 is
Was
when
a recession.
the whole recession thing happened.
Yeah.
So I couldn't get rid of the house.
Mm-hmm.
So spent all my money, and the twins were on the way. Right, Keita was pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
And so had to get a job. Wasn't no money flowing. And needed insurance for the kids.
Yeah.
So that was my job, driving a dump truck for the city of Hammond. Nephew on the side. Nephew riding shotgun.
Yeah.
For the
That
summer.
is funny.
Yep.
What about you?
What job?
Yeah. What's the jobs you worked?
My very first job, I worked for State Farm. And I realize now, like, it wasn't a real job. Like, I was cold calling people, basically asking if they needed quotes. And he paid us out of his personal account.
Oh, okay.
So we weren't actually like...
That's a job. You getting paid. That's a
Yeah,
job.
but at the time, I'm like, oh, yes, I'm getting this $200 check in high school. Like, this is amazing. But come to find out, like, that wasn't a real job. He just needed some more leads. So he hired a couple high
Right.
school kids to do this and paid us out of pocket. But,
Hey, he
yeah.
paid you.
Yeah. Where you worked at?
Man, first job, City of Hammond.
That was the first job.
Grandma got me that job, yeah. First job, City of Hammond. I worked at Hollister. I worked at Forever 21.
You worked at Hollister? Bro, I hated the way Hollister smelled. Every time I walk past, I get a headache.
Man, them jobs was trash.
What did you do at Hollister?
Man, what didn't I do? Man, I got into some trouble. That's when I was on probation, so I had to get a job to pay off my stuff.
Uh-huh.
And I had to shave off my mustache. I'm looking like I'm 10. I'm in that hot every day, every morning. Fixing clothes, vacuuming. Man, people used to make me mad because they would see me fold some jeans and they would come over there and mess it up. And I'm like, bitch. You seen me.
I worked in retail for a minute, bro, and people coming in messing up the shit that you already working on. You like, my nigga, come on. Like, you saw me just fold all of that.
One time I got fed up. I told the customer, I said, I know you see me folding jeans. Go fix it. Like, I told him to go fix it. Like, I was fed up that day. I was so fed up that day.
Unc, you ever worked in retail?
No, just that one job.
Oh,
That
okay.
was that one job, but that was it. And as soon as I recovered, and that was it. I didn't look back since.
Wow. And look, we have goals of working. Like, I had goals of working in corporate America. Like, I wanted so bad to be in corporate America. And
Why?
it's like, is that because that was like
Oh, that was
the
it.
dream.
Yeah.
That's the American dream. Like, you get to wake up, work a 9 to 5, go home to the family, to the kids. I don't have none of that. I don't have none of that. And so it's like, why is that my dream?
Yeah.
But that's what you're taught. That's what you're taught. Like, that's what life is supposed to
right.
be like after college.
Yeah. When did you realize that's not, or do you still want that?
Nah, I want my own. I don't want to work for nobody, man.
When did you realize you didn't want to work for nobody?
I knew from being a kid I didn't want to work for nobody because I don't like taking people orders. I don't like nobody telling me what to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know what I was gonna be selling or doing to do that. So I had to get my education the best way I could to do it.
What about you? When you realized that you ain't want to
I
work for
knew from
nobody?
jump. I knew from jump. Yeah, I knew when I was young. I knew I liked being able to make my own money.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I saw my mother going to work every day. I saw my dad going to work,
Mm-hmm.
and then he would preach that to me. About come work for Ford. You get out of high school, come work for a motor company.
Mm-hmm.
I knew from jump. I said, no, that ain't my thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been new. Yeah.
And then I listened to my dad who worked for the government, and he just be like, your job is just amazing. Like, you get to work from home and da 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 da.
That's dope though. That is dope.
I mean, it's dope, but it's like I'm still working for somebody else.
Yeah.
I'm still working for somebody else. Like, no matter if I get to stay home or, we get to whatever, like, I'm still working for somebody. I still take somebody else's orders.
But even as an entrepreneur, even when you got your own business, you still somewhat work for somebody else because you need people to pay you money.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
somewhat got to meet those demands of those people. You still have to act accordingly, right?
Yeah.
If you want to be successful.
Yeah, customer
entrepreneur.
service.
Right. So it's not much. It's not a whole lot different. It's different, but the structure is somewhat the same.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you still gonna have to somewhat people telling you like what they want and what they expect of you, and
Yeah. Yeah, especially now with social media.
if you want them to pay you.
Yeah. I think it's harder to work for yourself because everything is on your own structure, but the reward is greater once you get to that point. Because the reward of working for somebody else is you don't have to structure nothing. You just go in, you make the money, but you at their expense of getting fired, making whatever they tell you to make. And then when you're doing your own stuff, it's like, all right, I have to do all the work, but once I'm done, I can chill when I want to. I can get back
And
to
you
work.
feel good because it's yours.
Yeah, I can have people work for me. Like, it's not as much after the fact. The reward is a lot greater. So I think,
Yeah, you're going to put in more work
yeah,
as an entrepreneur for
definitely.
sure.
I think I knew I didn't want to work for nobody when I moved here, and it's funny looking back now because me and Unc always been connected somehow. Like my first job working, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
in the truck, or always being at the barbershop, or being around the rim shop, or just all of those things, or even the taxi business. Like I've always been around that, and I just got to see the freedom he had, and just seeing that just I can do what I want when I feel like it. And that's not to say like I just feel like not working today, but just knowing that, all right, I want to go kick it with my family today. Like that's the mood I'm in. I want to go take my family on a trip, or I feel like making some extra money today,
I think it's the idea of I know that if I don't put in the work, it's on me.
Yeah.
Like this is me. I know I want to go spend time with my family, and I know I just got to make it up later. Whereas me, if I miss 8 hours of that day, that's my check. Like that's my check.
Yeah.
But if you have your own business and you doing your own thing, you can kind of schedule it around the best way to get it done.
You know what? It's a little bit harder though because sometimes you do have to work those holidays.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, like, you don't get vacation pay.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get
So if you take that time off,
you
it's
get holiday pay. You don't get, whatever paid leave or whatever that stuff is. You don't get that stuff. So it's a little. It's I mean, for the last when I started the taxi business, I worked like 6 years straight, no days off. no days off. Holidays I worked, even if it's just 2-3 hours, you know. So it has its pros and cons.
So my question is, what was your thought process behind that? Because I never would have come up with that. I've never would have come.
Taxi business.
Yeah, I never
I just saw
would
a
have
demand for it.
Especially going to DFW.
My first time coming here after Keita and the kids moved here, my first time here, I needed to get a ride back to the airport.
Yeah.
And then we were in McKinney. So
Super far. If y'all don't know where McKinney is to the airport,
Right,
that's
right,
about
That's
a
it.
35, 40-minute ride.
Right, depending, yeah, exactly. So I called a service, and they want to charge me like $85, $90 to go to the airport, right? It's like 35 minutes. So I said, dang. You know, it's a demand for that. And when I called to like try to compare prices and try to find cheap, I couldn't find nobody else.
Wow. So
when
people paying it.
So when I moved here, I actually found a guy who was doing it, and I worked for him for a couple of weeks just to learn the business. And after that, the rest is history.
Bro, like what he
I saw
just
a demand
said.
for it though.
That's what I was. The demand, like I don't look at stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't just be like, dang, like people really paying $85 for this. This is a demand. Let me do this, and I just don't think like that.
Yeah, that's the gift though. Like that's just the gift of instinct of like I'm finna compare this. And be like, all right, this is something here.
I mean, I kind of just started,
Yeah.
but it's like no, I never really thought like that.
But the thing is that you recognize that you want to be self-employed. So you recognize that you're gonna figure out how to make it happen. You know.
Okay. Do you have to be passionate about what your business is?
You don't have to be, but you should be.
Okay.
Plenty of entrepreneurs, successful millionaires, billionaires became billionaires because they invested in somebody else or something else.
Gotcha.
It wasn't necessarily their passion; it was somebody else's passion. But I think it's so much better if you are passionate about it, and it makes it like not like they say when you find something that you love to do and you get paid for it, you never work a day in your life. You know, everything
Easy.
right? So it's what you love to do, so it don't feel like work.
Yeah.
But that's hard to find, in my opinion, is something that you love to do. I'm not gonna say hard to find, but it's rare that you see entrepreneurs doing what they actually passionate about or they love to do, or because you see they got other hobbies and goals, and that's not their main source of income. It's something else.
Yeah.
What are y'all passionate about?
I like anything where I feel like I'm helping people better their lives, whether that's toys, whether that's just life advice, whatever that is. If I feel like after talking to somebody or working with somebody, their life is better in some way, shape, or form, that's what I'm passionate about.
Round of applause for that one. What about you? What you passionate about?
I'm passionate about our youth, especially young men. I'm passionate about teaching them the things that are not being taught by the education system.
Yeah.
Even not being taught by their parents, because a lot of parents, like you say, they don't know. Like my parents, they didn't know how to tell me how to run a business. They didn't tell, you know, they both worked for somebody else. They grew up down south, you know, during the, you know, what was going on down south. So when they moved here, everything was same thing. Get an education, get a good job. Get an education, get a good job.
Because that's all they know.
Right, so.
Yeah, that was their reality. That's all they could. Man, that go deep, but that's all they could worry about at the time.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I'm passionate about educating our youth about things that their parents might not know. Like an entrepreneur may be able to tell you how to start your own business, how to, you know, continue to sharpen your skills and educate yourself. And your parents might not have that same insight.
Idea.
Yeah.
You know, so.
What are the risks that are included with starting your own businesses? Like what are the things that you're just like, okay, you should look out for this if you're going to start your own business? I know failing is one of the risks that everybody has to take. So how do you
Yeah, but failing is part of the process, though.
Okay.
Like you get better when you fail.
Absolutely.
You know, like they always say, it takes 10 years to become an overnight success. You know, people see the end product, think, oh, he hit a lick. He been working on this for 10, 20 years.
For sure.
You know, and they think that it just happened overnight. So failing is part of the process. I remember I heard about an article that it was about Warren Buffett, and they said that he would not partner with somebody in business unless they had at least 1 or 2 failed businesses.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because when you fail, it brings out something different in you, and you don't want to fail again. Look at Tyler Perry. What if he had quit? Think how many times he failed, come in, had shows and 10 people there, 12 people there.
It's just like, where do you get that drive to keep going? Because I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be real transparent. When I fail, I feel really low. And I'm like, I never want to feel that type of pain again. So I kind of don't want to go that route again. So I'm not that person that is fueled by failure.
It don't feel good to nobody.
I know, but I'm not fueled by it. Like, I don't feel like, okay, if I start a business and it fails, I can't see me saying, you know what? Let me try something different. Let me try it again, but let me try something different. I'm the person, I'm like, that's not supposed to happen.
Well, one thing is, why did you start that business? Right? So if you feel like something that you really don't care about too much, you'd be like, right? But if something you're passionate about, something that you really want to do, and you fail, you'd be like, you know what, I ain't laying down. I'm finna, we're going to make this happen. You know? That's what I think. I think it's just what is it that you're doing. And if that thing fuels you, it may not be the failure, but if that thing fuels you, you will push through the failure.
Okay. Speaking on failure, that fuels me. Like, I think that fueled me from since I was a kid. That fueled me actually from basketball. From every level I played on, I've always been told I was too skinny, I was too short every time. And I'm just like, I'm finna prove these motherfuckers wrong every time. And
That's it though, yeah.
But that molded me into now, like, having enough tough skin to say, all right, if I don't get it right the first time, I know I can do it again. I just got to figure it out. So I think I was molded into that. But a lot of people are, they don't take well to failure because they don't know how to bounce back from it because it's like rejection.
That's me.
Yeah. And I think, but failure, like you say, failure is in a process and it's needed to help you because the failure is there to mold the strength of when it happens again on a greater scale. You know what I'm saying? Like, you may tell people about all these big ideas and they excited and then you fail and it's like, damn, I'm embarrassed. But if you've been through that, you're not embarrassed because you know that you can jump back from it.
Right.
And I think failure only is failure when you quit. It's not failure if you don't succeed and then try again. It's a part of the process. But failure is only failure to me if you quit. Like, if you like, man, that didn't work the first time, so I'm gonna just quit. That's failure because you chose to quit.
Right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, just delaying the process. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, is it important to have a support system when you're creating new ideas and new businesses?
Man, that's hard because sometimes it's better to keep it to yourself.
I believe that.
Sometimes it's better not to tell nobody, you know. And then sometimes it depends on who your support system is. Like, are they truly your support system? Right? Are they really gonna back you no matter whether they think that you out your mind or what? Or are they gonna say, you know, that's a good idea, but you should.
Right.
You don't want to tell them nothing.
Gotcha.
Only the ones you know for a fact that's gonna be like, man, listen, make it happen.
And somebody that's gonna help you. That's me and Ryan actually had this conversation, you know, with like him writing a book and me trying to create the business that I'm trying to do. We were talking about how, like, having people around you who actually help you, who push you to do the things that you're actually trying to do. And when is it a time to say, okay, like, this is a distraction, or like, I shouldn't, like you just said, I shouldn't tell you anything. So that's really good that you just said that, because we definitely just had that conversation yesterday.
And that should be your circle anyway, whether it's in business or not. That should be your circle. Those people who push you, who like-minded, you know, who goal-oriented. If that ain't their characteristics, y'all shouldn't even be hanging out anyway. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, that's cool to have that support system, but even just those people around you, period. Like, even if I don't tell you my business, I still know that you out here trying to grow. Like,
yeah,
we like-minded, we got the same, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think the support messes a lot of people up, because when they put something out and they see that they thought the people who will support them not supporting them, they get discouraged and they was like, damn, y'all say y'all would be supportive, and then I finally do it. In actuality, y'all kind of hating, because y'all not only are y'all not supporting, but y'all not even letting me know, you know what I'm saying, like how y'all feel about it. So
Speak on it.
I think don't let the support, like, don't be so driven by support. Be driven by why I'm doing this and the reason behind it. Like, the support will come, but that shouldn't be like, that's my, because that's almost like looking for validation in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't worry about the validation. The support will come, but don't get discouraged. The number one reason why you did that, if it's coming from a genuine place, like, if you're there to help people, then as long as you help one person, you did your job. You know what I'm saying? So don't be so worried about the support and the
I think a lot of
validation.
times ideas end when you tell somebody that you think very highly of, or you think very highly of their opinions, and then they shut you down. They're like, no, that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
So it's like you have those people who, once they throw an idea out there and the person that they really hoped would like it, and they say no, then that idea is gone. And let somebody else do that same business or same idea, you're gonna be like, damn, I should have just did it. So ultimately, just do whatever you feel like you should do.
Yeah. Because everybody not gonna see what you see.
Yeah.
You know, that's why you got investors, people who invest in businesses because they don't have the vision, but they got the money. So they invest in these crazy ideas, and man, a lot of them
Take off.
Yeah. So
I need some investors.
people not gonna see what you're gonna see. That's why, like I said, it's kind of best keep it to yourself, because you might have an excellent idea, and like you said, the person who you want to support you might not see the same vision you see. It's a great idea. They just got a different perception of it, right? And so you let it die.
Yeah.
And it was a great idea. You know,
Yeah.
so you know, unless you got those who you know solid no matter what, if you be like, man, look, tomorrow I'm finna start a business doing skydiving in Africa, and they be like, man, you look at the tickets yet? How much the flight cost?
Right.
You know, like,
Oh, for sure.
man, you know.
Yeah.
Do y'all have any business ideas that y'all like thought of that didn't go anywhere, or didn't really?
Plenty.
I mean, I ain't really do too much yet to say.
Yeah. Okay.
I've thought of stuff, but I never tried. I didn't start trying until later on. So
What's the business that you thought of that you didn't try to implement?
I don't want to say because I might.
You might try to go.
Yeah,
go
I might
back.
try to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm sure you got some that you.
I
Like.
got a ton of them, man. And actually, a lot of them even, well, some of them, not a lot of them, but some of them even, I didn't do it. Somebody else acted on the same thing. And
Took
man,
off.
it happened to me a few times.
See, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yep. That's why procrastination, man, kills, man. I'm telling you, procrastination.
And I think for a lot of people, because I can say this for me, it's the money. It's when you think about, I don't have the money. When in actuality, it all starts with the research. And that's what I've had to learn from myself is you don't necessarily just have to have the money to start whatever it is that you're trying to start. It's you, if you show that you're passionate about it, everything else is just going to fall into place.
100%.
Fall into place.
Yeah. So my favorite thing to talk about is purpose.
Purpose.
Finding your purpose in life. What's your purpose? Why am I here? What am I here to do? How can I this and that? What do y'all feel like y'all purpose is? And how do you feel about purpose?
I should start.
She putting that pressure.
Yeah.
Look, you want me to answer? I go first.
cool.
If you trying to
I'm
think.
not tripping.
Okay.
My purpose, I think, I really don't fully know my purpose in life, fully. But I know, I feel that it got something to do with, like I said, what I'm passionate about, which is helping our youth, helping young men, especially nowadays, young men getting killed.
Man.
Yeah.
Left and right. And even some of that is them being uneducated, you know, and how to deal with those situations, you know what I'm saying? And some of them don't have a choice but to be in the bad places at the wrong time. You know what I'm saying? They don't have the option. So that's another thing, is giving them outlets that they could do where they can be somewhere, you know, besides hanging out on the corner, besides, you know, at somebody else that shouldn't be at.
Yeah.
Get them other things to do, other outlets, you know, just educate them, man. Just educating our youth, man, and embracing them and giving them a support system, like you say. Let them know somebody care about them.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Malika. Head ass.
Ugly head ass.
What you think your purpose is?
My purpose in this world is to be the guiding light for anyone who needs me. No, I just
Hey, not anyone being a guy life for those who deserve
who
it.
deserve it. Yeah. And that's, Uncle, let me tell you, that has been my struggle, is because I am so nice and I'm so giving. And if somebody needs me at the drop of a dime, like, they know they can call me, and if I can, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
But I've had to learn along the way that everybody ain't got good intentions for you. So my purpose, I think, is just to be there for other people when they need me. Again, what fuels me is knowing that I made somebody else's life better. So when I can do that, if it's something small, like my homegirl, like, hey, can you pick me up from the airport? I'm like, girl, I got you.
Yeah.
Like, if I got the time, I got you. And it's not even the simple fact of like, well, I'm not doing anything. It's like, okay, I live my life and my motto off of I want people to do things. I want to do things for people that I would hope they would do for me if I was in that same situation. So if I needed to be picked up from the airport, I hope that I can call on somebody and somebody be so willing to pick me up. So it's just helping somebody. I'm a helper.
Okay. I feel like my purpose is obviously to help, but I think my purpose is to make people realize their purpose. Just kind of give them a blueprint on how it's almost like you sharing your story and people can take bits and pieces and be like, I can relate to this and I can take this. Yeah. I think with your purpose comes with the gifts and the talents that you already naturally had and just working on them, like constantly working on them. So I feel like I have a gift of words. For some reason, when I speak, people are gravitated towards that and they take into it.
I listen to it.
Yeah, sure. So words, writing, basketball, like sports is a gift. Basically everything that I'm good at, I feel like I turn that into how can I help people with those in whatever way. So I feel like that's my purpose. Definitely.
Yeah. So to piggyback on what you just said, even with like my blog, like how you said like people pay attention to what you say, even though I'm expressing what I go through or like how I feel, I still feel like I'm helping somebody else. Mm-hmm. So when people come up to me and they say something like, I read your blog and it really helped me, that was like, okay, I found a way to get to you, because our podcast may not get to you.
Yeah.
Me posting something on Facebook might not get to you, but the fact that you read my blog and that was the one, it's like, okay, what my purpose is has still gotten to you in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how can we set goals to get to our purpose, and how can people set goals to get to their purpose?
I'm gonna let you answer that first. Me and Unc didn't want to answer your questions first. It's your turn to answer a question first.
I mean, I feel like it's a number of things you can do. To be honest with you, man, I think the first thing of finding your purpose is finding yourself. Mm-hmm. Like you can all day want to do something else. Like I felt like I grew up always looking for validation from other people.
I think we all do.
Had I not accepted myself at this point, I would have never knew that I could write. Like I would have never knew, because writing isn't cool where you come from. That's sports and rapping is cool. Like writing is not cool where you come from. Like being artistic, starting a podcast or talking to people, like that's not a cool thing. Being vulnerable, that's not a cool thing. I think the moment I started accepting myself for who I was and just working on that and growing is when I'll start walking in my purpose. And it happened naturally. I didn't have to like try to do anything outside of what it happened so naturally. Yeah. So I think one of the first things is finding yourself and accepting and just working on it and not worry about what other people say. Or, you know what I'm saying?
It's your turn.
It's your turn.
Y'all are funny. I mean, what's some goals y'all worked on to get where y'all at right now? Because I feel like y'all are walking in y'all purpose, even if y'all don't realize it. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with the whole having to be alone.
Yeah.
I was married at 24. Like I didn't know what really being alone was like until I actually went through my divorce. So once I was by myself and I had to actually know myself, I was no longer living for somebody else. I was no longer waking up every day like, did this man eat? Like, did he? Like I was no longer doing that. So it's like, damn, what do I like? What do I like to do? Yeah. So then I got back to that writing my blogs and writing things. And then we started the podcast. And then I'm like, oh my God, like everything is flowing. Then I got people calling me just to have conversations, to vent. It's like, okay, I'm going back to what I used to know as a child, when I used to enjoy these things, when I enjoy writing and talking and having fun and stuff like that. So I think that really being alone and knowing who you are and understanding what it is that you like. Yeah. Is what's gonna make it better, or make you start to understand what you need to do. Because ultimately, when you are confident in yourself and confident in what you like and confident in what you know, everybody around you has no other choice but to conform to who you are.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What about you? What's some goals that you've set for yourself that got you to where you are right now?
That got me to where I am right now.
Yeah, because you set goals that to have all these businesses and be successful.
What was your striving point? What was it that kept you going? What was it that motivated you?
Definitely, I would say, well, for one, money motivates you, right?
Yeah.
And then my family, you know what I'm saying? Just being able to provide for my family, being able to help my family, do whatever I can with that. And then what I love about just about the whole structure is that being able to help people. You know, like even with like the taxi business, being able to see people who drive for me, being able to support their families.
Oh
You know
man.
what I'm saying? That's super dope. I forget. I think it was like Daddy Yankee, somebody like that. No, Pitbull, one of them. Anyway, he was talking about how people say that money don't make you happy, right? And he was saying that another guy told him that money does make you happy if you give it away,
Yeah.
right? So I'm not giving money away, but I feel like giving opportunities away.
Yep.
I feel like that giving jobs to people and things like that. You see their families being able to, live off that or whatever. And then that's why I feel like it's so important for companies to include. I don't know. I'm kind of getting off subject.
No, you good. No, keep going.
But for companies like to really take care of their employees, you know what I'm saying? Like to really invest in their employees and things like that. That's how you make a stronger, economy, stronger workforce, stuff like that. Because it's always the big dog who always sprinkling down little crumbs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of those who. That's what I love about Chick-fil-A is that they allow people to own a Chick-fil-A with so like little money down, like 5-10 grand, something like that, right? You got to work for it.
Yeah.
But the thing is that's something that you couldn't have did, especially at our race,
Right.
because there's black owners as well, right? Something we couldn't have did because most franchises nowadays, you got to have what? $500,000 liquid, $1 million in assets. You know what I'm saying? So what's the chance of us opening up a franchise like a McDonald's or but Chick-fil-A, people like that, I like who support, the average Joes like us who want to see you do well.
And it create loyalty. I'm gonna be loyal to somebody who takes care of me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be loyal to my job. I'm gonna be loyal to whoever if I know that I'm taken care of.
That's a fact. When you taken care of, and that teaches you how to be a good boss or owner when you become one.
Yeah.
That I work for somebody who took care of me, so I know how to take care of my employees. I know not to shit on my employees and make them feel any less.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you treat it like your own business, right? You don't want to see, people stealing stuff. You don't want to see people, with bad customer service. You be like, you know what? They're giving us stock in this business. I got ownership.
Yeah.
No, we finna run this right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't finna be, just doing it any kind of way, like because you're part of it, and you feel like an owner too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So I got a list of advice for people out there.
Okay.
Random advice. I'm gonna say the advice, and then y'all can
Uncle.
expound on this
Uncle,
advice.
anytime Ryan say something random that ain't nobody else seen, is this good advice?
This is great advice.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this is about setting goals, right?
Uh-huh.
Sometimes we set goals that aren't even our goals, but it's for the approval of others out of fear, insecurity, pain, and like you may want something, but why do you want it? So how do y'all feel about that?
I think that sometimes people do say stuff that the masses may like. They may come up with an idea based around everybody else or a goal, but it may not be their own.
Right.
So I do think that's a thing.
What do you think about that?
Or I want to go to college because my parents think that I need to go to college.
Right.
Definitely, yeah. Especially that. Like I say, college is cool. Like, don't get it twisted. If you're gonna be a doctor, a lawyer, you're not gonna be mine without a degree, right?
Yeah.
So I understand that. I think college is cool for anybody who want to go.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, for me, sometimes they teach you things that you don't need.
Yeah.
And they take your money, right? Or they give you debt,
Scam.
right? So
Preacher.
just kind of, I kind of keep going off subject, but
It's cool. That's why we have to edit it button for.
Uncle, so funny.
It says sometimes we set goals that aren't even our goals, but it's for the approval of other people. Like you're saying, going to college because your parents want you
yeah,
to go.
exactly, yeah. So definitely that, and then a lot of times, like you said, approval with us starting businesses, we definitely do that. I agree, man, 100%. And just even for me, like this happened to me plenty of times as well, is me not doing something because me thinking about what people are gonna think. Killing myself.
Yeah.
Killing my dreams because I'm worried about what somebody else gonna think or what they gonna say.
Right.
And you know, and then when my mother died, all that died with it. Like, you know what? I'm like, if she ain't here to you know, to correct me or to or for me to be like, you know what, you messed up, I don't care about what nobody else gonna say. You know what I'm saying? But I sabotage myself so many times because of stuff like that.
Yeah, I think a lot of us do, especially at first, because we want things for the wrong reason, thinking that like that's gonna feed our insecurities, but that ain't. It's not gonna help once you get it.
Yeah. It's funny that he says that because I think about all the time, like when my dad passes away, I'm really gonna be like just out here living. And it's not like in a really negative way,
I get
but
what you're
like
saying.
I know my dad is that person who's gonna tell me like, Ebony, no, like nah, let's not do that.
That's not the move.
But I know for a fact that I'm just not gonna care because I don't have it anymore. So that's something deep to think about for sure.
Yeah. The next one is having vision, manifesting your goals. Yeah, having vision and manifesting your goals. That's a lot. That's something that I don't think we talk about enough. Manifestation.
It's funny. I like to think that things happen on purpose, and the fact that you're saying this, and this is going to be the third time I heard the word manifestation in this week. So I was on a call with my boss, and we were just talking, and he was saying how I was telling him something. I'm like, I don't think I can make that high of a number. And he was like, do you know who Muhammad Ali is? And I'm like, really? He's like, I just had to ask. And he was like, he used to do something called Manifest Destiny, where he would say something and then he would envision it and think about it and it would happen. And so I just think that it is a real thing. Like, it's something that we need to start doing more. But I think a lot of times it's looked down upon because people don't believe in it. But again, I really believe in things, and this is the third time I've heard it this week. So that means that it's something that I need to reflect on and think about, that I need to start manifesting and actually really thinking about.
I like that.
100%.
How you feel about manifestation and having a vision? We talk about this all the time, having vision.
It's definitely real.
Yeah.
Most of the things that I happened in my life came from me envisioning and manifestation. You know, and this new thing I'm starting to do is I've been doing it for like the last 3 weeks now. Is before I meditate, first thing I do is when I get up in the morning, I don't move, I don't touch my phone. I sit there and envision what I want where I am or where I want to be in my life, right? Whether it be a business, whether it be a goal, whether it be, you know, anything, vacation, whatever, right? Do that. I don't do nothing until I get a clear picture, like I feel like I'm already doing it, right? And then don't touch my phone. I gotta pray first, right? That's the next thing. Pray, then get up, meditate, then I touch my phone. But the thing is that we cloud our brain in the mornings with so much garbage, right? Before we do anything else. As soon as we get that phone, it's over with.
Yeah.
You grab that phone in the morning, you open your eyes, grab that phone, it's over with.
You laying there for hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever you had planned the day before, that phone gonna throw everything off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my main thing is to put that phone at the end, right? But as far as manifestation, it's I can't even stress how important it is. You know, you can take the easy way or the hard way. You can get out there and work and grind. You know, people don't realize, man, everybody say hustle, grind. You ain't gotta work as hard as you think you gotta work.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta grind as hard as you think. You gotta work. But I'm saying, but you have to get out there and like work like a slave. No, you don't. A lot of it is right here.
Yeah.
What you see, what you believe. You know what I'm saying? The negative energy, negative people. You gotta kill it. All this got to go. You know what I'm saying? In order to have a clear manifestation and to manifest it without hesitation, like I'm not saying like tomorrow, but you know, without the roadblocks, is to have the clear vision, see it. You know what I'm saying? And people see all the time on on YouTube and all kind of videos and all kind of people trying to make money off of it, but it's easier than what they think it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's just it got to become your focus. Think about anything in your life, whatever you think about the most. Think about when you think about things the most. right? Most time they materialize, right? Not so much the bad stuff, but I'm talking about the good stuff. When you really think about it, you give it a lot of thought, and you really think about it. If it's a job you want to get, right, you apply for that job. Oh my God! Right, and the whole time you either got good vibes about it or bad vibes. If the good vibes are going about that job, you're thinking about it, and you seeing yourself at that desk, you seeing yourself pulling up in the parking lot, you seeing yourself going lunch with your coworkers, right? Next thing you know, you got a phone call. Think about this: we sitting there chilling, right? We're thinking about somebody that we know. I ain't talked to such and such in forever. Then tomorrow, such and such call you out of the blue. You ain't talked to them in 2 years.
Man.
You
I'm
talked
about to cry.
2 years.
Telepathy is real.
I'm about to cry.
Yeah, so
I said it right.
All that's right here, man. Yeah. And it all works the same way, right? But we only do it because we do the small things because it's easy.
Yeah.
And it's believable. We do it with the big things because to us it's like it ain't gonna happen for that. That's too big.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't give it enough energy. We don't give it enough, vision to it. You know what I'm saying? Enough attention to it to make it manifest. But the small things, I ain't talked to my brother in a month, and then
he just hit you up.
Next day, he texts me, "What's up, bro? Give me a call. I'm finna call you."
Yeah.
And somebody be like, "I was just thinking about you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the time. It's the same thing, man. It's just different levels of it. It's different levels of it, right? And the more energy you give it, the same things apply to your goals. The exact same things apply to your goals. Manifestation. Antar with his business, with the suits, he envisioned himself before he had one client, right? He envisioned himself suiting up NFL players, NBA players, rappers and singers, all that stuff. He envisioned it first, right? He didn't have a stitch of nothing, right?
Yeah.
Now who are his clients?
Everybody.
NFL players, NBA players. But he said, Jamie, I saw it before it even happened.
Yeah.
He said, I envisioned it. He said, I would sit there and envision it. And guess what? And it didn't take forever.
No. You just got to have a dream.
Yeah, it didn't take forever.
The manifestation, one thing that I'm doing now is that I watched the video, man. That video motivated the hell out of me. Like, we have a vision, and the vision can be amazing, but it's still limited because it's what we feel like is realistic. And it's like, I want that childhood imagination to this shit sound like. If I pitch it to you, I want somebody to say, you out your fucking mind. When you tell me that, I'm like, okay, we in good shape then. I want to be out my fucking mind. Like, so I just got to a point where, like, now when I manifest all the cool stuff that I know for sure I can do. I want to manifest the stuff that, like, sounds like nobody has done this shit before. Like, that's the stuff I'm manifesting now. It's like,
somebody just think it's crazy. You don't even have to be something that nobody thought about before. You just like somebody be like, what? Like, you want to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm waiting. I'm just waiting, and I want to pitch this to somebody, and I want somebody to say, you're fucking crazy. And I'm going to say, you goddamn right, I'm crazy. Like, I'm that's where I want to be at.
See, Unc was talking about manifestation and all of that, and I started thinking, and I guess because I was younger, I didn't really think about it being manifestation. Working at a hotel is like bottom level hospitality industry. Working at that front desk every day, you might have to do a double, so you work in 16 hours. Like, it's the bottom of the barrel. And then when we're in hospitality at the lower level, we're thinking about corporate. We're thinking about, we want to be at the corporate office. I want to sit at somebody's desk, and I want to have a assigned section, and I want to do all of this stuff because corporate to us was not a real thing that we could reach.
Okay.
So I am in college, I am working this front desk, and I am every day thinking that I'm going to be at corporate. I used to tell people all the time, and they would tell you now, they'd be like, she's going to be at the corporate office. Yeah. Like, she's going to be at Hilton's corporate office. Like, she says this every day. I had an interview at the corporate office, and before I even made it to the first light, I had already got the email that I didn't get it. Mm-hmm. I remember going to my job. I had to work at 3. My interview was at like 1. I had to work at 3 p.m. that day, and I went to my HR, and I just cried in her office. She called in my boss. She called in somebody else, and we just sat at this table, and I just cried because I'm like, why am I not good enough? Like, why am I not good enough? And she was like, apply again. And I was like, well, they already told me they didn't like me. She was like, apply again. I applied again, had another interview. And then they basically was like, you know what, like, we were wrong the first time. Like we were clearly wrong. And it's somebody else that's interviewing me. Yeah. And then I started working at Hilton corporate office, but I didn't see it as a manifestation. And I didn't see it like that. Mm-hmm. So now when he just said that, I was sitting there like, oh my, I really manifested like getting out of the actual hotel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 100%.
That's crazy.
And to piggyback off of manifestation, pay attention to what the things people say about, like, man, I see you doing this. Like, you ever thought about that? Well, I see you doing this. Like, way before I even wrote a book, like, I'm talking about, I'm sending text messages of positive messages to, like, 10 people. Yeah. And they like, you ever thought about writing a book? I'm like, for what? Like, why would, I'm just cool with sending y'all text messages. Then it goes to the Snapchat. Then it goes to the blog. People manifest stuff, and you don't even know, like, that's.
They're saying it for you. Yeah,
like, they're saying it for you, like, oh, even before we even thought about a podcast, man, I could see you having a show. Yeah. Like, I'm cool. I'm cool with the writing books. Yeah. We got a podcast. Like, I've heard so many things, so just pay attention to the things people say. Like, I can see you doing this. Like, don't throw that in the garbage. That's a sign to get.
It's fear on our end, because it's like we know we good enough to do all the shit that people say. It's just we're like, what, me do that? Yeah. I don't know. But the feeling that me and Ryan had when we came into the studio that day, that was something different. That was something I ain't never felt.
We was trying to come finesse the equipment. We was trying to figure out, like, what mics we need and what camera we need. And we walked in here, we like, oh, yeah, this is it. Like, this is what we finna do.
You can tell, though.
Yeah.
You can tell, y'all natural at it. Yeah. And the thing is that, I don't know. It's like,
oh, my
Really, nigga?
What the fuck was that?
Oh my God!
We hitting all the buttons.
Listen, Uncle Funny is.
We hitting all the buttons on Unc.
Yeah.
No, man. No, but. Now I don't know what you said. I don't know what you said about
Dog.
About people say. You know, about because sometimes people see our gifts that we don't see.
Yeah.
Like sometimes people see stuff on you don't even see yourself. Mm-hmm. And those are confirmations.
Absolutely.
Y'all came in here, y'all felt that was confirmation that y'all supposed to be here.
Man.
Yeah.
Somebody tell you, be like, you know what, Ryan? Like you say, you might be thinking about something or whatever, and somebody say, you know what? You're gonna be in corporate. You might not see it. Somebody see that gift on you that you don't see. It happens all the time. Another thing is too is that you might have been thinking about corporate. You might be saying, you know what, maybe one day I should go work in corporate. One day I apply for this job. Nah, I ain't gonna do that. And somebody come in and, you know what? So's got a job over here. You should apply for it. It's in corporate. Confirmations may happen all the time. You know what I'm saying? So when you got a vision about something, because what's for you is for you.
Man.
Yeah.
Can't nobody stop you but you, man. I'm telling you, we sabotage ourselves.
Our own way.
You know what I'm saying? We think people sabotaging us. No, we allowing them to sabotage us. Mm-hmm. Allow them to get into our head, you know what I'm saying? All the little chatter. We listen to it. We sabotage ourselves, but when somebody tell you something, like you said, don't just disregard it because you might already had a vision about it before or heard about it before. That's a confirmation. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So definitely that, man. And the negative people talking the negative stuff, man, get away from them. Yeah. Get away from them. People who all the time, man, like, look, I don't even want to say it, but I'm just saying, man, I look at my phone a lot while it's ringing. Uh-huh. I look at it because I know it's negative energy.
I feel that.
You know somebody come with the bullshit.
I can't do it.
It's like, nah, we don't feel like it is today.
Man. Throw your whole day off, man.
We say that. Okay, so can I segue a little bit? Or you guys?
Nah, you good. Go ahead.
Okay, so Unc then started this whole YouTube, and I feel like that's something that a lot of people saw for you. That cooking, we were serious. Like when me and Tierra came over there that day, and we like, Unc, we want you to cook. That wasn't just because we wanted you to cook. We wanted you to cook because we knew the food was gonna be good.
Yeah, thank you.
So it's like, what pushed you to finally be like, okay, I'm about to start it?
Man, I wouldn't even to be honest, like Ryan always been on YouTube, right? Like I'm probably gonna have 10 YouTube channels. Mm-hmm. Like, I got so much I want to give, so much I want to put out, but cooking was never really one of them. There was Ryan knows so much other stuff.
Yeah.
But initially, me and Jamie was supposed to be flying, doing like food reviews.
Oh.
Go to restaurants in Dallas, go to restaurants.
Got
Get on the plane, go to restaurants in Chicago, Atlanta, California, wherever, and just travel and do
The reviews on food.
Yeah, just hang out and kick it, you know what I'm saying? Show dope spots or whatever, right? Then this whole quarantine thing happened. This whole COVID-19 thing happened. So then, we ain't finna fly nowhere, right? So we get the crib, and we cooking every day anyway. Man, we cooking every day. So we're like, you know what? Let's start recording us cooking. So we did two
fake videos.
We did 2 videos, and we ain't put nothing out. And she decided she wanted to go back down to school, and for a little bit or whatever. So so she's like, Dad, we'll do it. And but one thing about me is, and it took me forever to do this, especially with the ones I love, right? And no this to Jamie, but I just don't wait on nobody.
Yeah.
Right. If I already started doing it,
might as well just get it together.
I'll keep on doing it. So I put the first one out. It was just at home every day cooking anyway. So. And Ryan, we talk about all the time, like just not waiting on nobody.
Yeah.
You want to do something, man, because you look up, it'll be a year, 2 years, 4 years, 5 years. You get a vision, man. Like you talking about earlier about not having no money. Do what you can do. Like you said, you can do the research. You can do whatever you can do. And a lot of times, man, like you said, I say God gonna make it happen. Manifestation, everything, it all starts right here, though. Once you put it right there, man, you start putting your fingers to work. Everything else gonna fall into place.
Man, I made them Brussels sprouts and them potatoes.
Hey, I swear, right after we seen them Brussels sprouts, I'm like, man, I'm finna go get some Brussels sprouts.
Let me tell you how mad I was that he cooked that tomahawk, because I just stopped eating meat. I was like, all I can make is these damn potatoes and these Brussels sprouts.
I'm gonna do a lot of meatless stuff too, though.
Okay.
I'm gonna do, because majority of my diet is meatless. Like 99% of my diet is meatless.
So we talked about one day.
We was gonna do a challenge. Like we was either gonna cook ourselves.
We was
something.
thinking like you give us a type of food, like a list of basically, and we gotta cook it, and you gotta taste it, and you gotta tell us who's better, and that's gonna be part of our podcast.
That'd be dope as hell. I'm
Man,
down with that.
look, I already know me. I'm gonna fuck up 5 minutes into it. I done burnt something already.
Listen.
But yeah, we gonna do that challenge though for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So what's the name of the YouTube and the
Instagram?
IG?
It's Watch Jamo Cook.
Watch Jamo cook.
Yeah.
On Instagram, follow Jamo.
Okay.
I want to make that pasta. That pasta look fire.
Yeah.
See, that looked difficult to me. I was like, that look intimidating. I don't know if I can do that one. But I'm gonna try it. That's probably the one we should try.
Yeah, that's the one.
Try
Yeah.
all of them, man. Like that's the thing. They might look difficult, but they ain't hard.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I couldn't get, Uncle, I'm gonna be 100% honest. I don't know how you kept them Brussels sprouts together. Cause every time I cut one of them hoes,
Because you gotta. It's the very tip of it. You gotta cut the very small little tip, just a little dirty little part.
at the end.
Yeah, just a
Cause
little
I
bit.
was like, damn,
Just
he's
very
falling
little bit,
apart,
it'll fall
and he
apart,
clearly said that they shouldn't fall apart.
Man. Hey, I had the leaves falling off on the side. I'm like, man, what the hell is going
I'm cooking all of this. I'm not
Right.
wasting
Yeah, there you
any
go.
of
Hey,
that.
that too, though. For
on?
real.
Right.
That is too funny.
Yeah, but that's a dope. And you got good responses from it too. Like it was quick.
Yeah, I've been
You
getting some-
almost at 100 followers, huh?
I got 100 yesterday. I think.
Dang, we
Look.
ain't even got 100.
But listen, I told you that, man. I remember a while ago when you did the ACV video, apple cider vinegar video.
Oh, yeah,
And I
yeah.
said, you good at videos. And he was like, not really. I'm like, nigga, you tripping.
Sabotage myself.
I'm like, this nigga.
Sabotage
tripping.
myself.
Yeah,
That
I told you
video-
you was good at videos.
That video I did, I had I think 13,000 views. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying?
Man, he had a lot of
but
views.
that was like in like a week or 2 weeks, and I took
Yeah.
it down.
Yeah.
It was scary.
It was just
It was scary.
Yeah, it was like I just sabotaged myself.
It was
Yeah.
scary.
You know?
What I'm gonna say is, you are very personable. You are very relatable.
you.
You're very chill. So I think that naturally people are going to listen or want to hear what you have to say.
Thank you.
And then, like with the food, it looked good. It's not like you out here with some bull. Like it looked good.
Tastes
Yeah.
good.
So I
too.
think that that's something like, like for sure, like that's definitely something that you should continue. I don't think you should stop yourself, limit yourself. You at 100 now.
Yeah.
You could be at 1,000 tomorrow.
See, like I said, like them days and me, like
Self-sabotaging.
yeah, it's over with. That's dead. Like that person gone.
I
When
feel
my OG
that.
died, that died with her, like, because and she was my biggest supporter, man. She used to tell me, she used to be like, Jamie, everything you touch turn to gold.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a blessing.
So her opinion meant the world to me. You know know what I'm saying? So I remember my first time trying to get a job. I was 18. She wanted me to come work with her for the summer, right? And I flunked the drug test. Smoking weed. I was like 18. I was smoking weed and I failed the drug test. And that crushed my heart. I quit smoking weed for like 20 years after that.
Wow.
Because that's
something
how
so
much,
little.
That's how much her opinion meant to me. You know what I'm saying? And how it hurt her. And it wasn't even like she was like disappointed. It was like it wasn't even like she was like disappointed in me or like she was like snapping or mad. It was the embarrassment of her employees, her coworkers, seeing that your son can't work here because he flunked the drug test.
Yeah.
So her opinion meant the world to me. So once she passed away, man, I'm like, it's balls to the wall. Like I don't care what
It's
nobody
balls to the wall.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm gonna start
nobody
using
think.
that. It's
real.
balls to the wall at this point. I don't really care.
Absolutely.
I'm keep doing videos. I'm keep popping them out. You know,
Yeah.
keep on.
You
keep on putting
should.
them out.
You
Yeah.
should for sure.
Yeah, we gonna get this challenge going.
Yeah, we gotta do.
I'm gonna kick your
Spank
ass.
that
I'm gonna kick your fucking ass. You hear me? I don't care if I gotta chop your shit up
Uncle.
with my
Hey,
hands.
Wings-
Hey, Wings man.
Uncle.
Hey, Wings man.
Uncle, somehow I'm really not worried. I'm pretty sure that's like.
I ain't gonna lie. I've been in the kitchen by myself.
Is it light work? Is it light work for you?
I mean, it's not, but I'm going up against Ryan. Like,
That's
I mean, he
cool.
gonna be like, "What does this mean? What does it mean to Dice? What does it mean to Juliet? What does it mean to?" I'm gonna be done cooking by the time he figure out what any of the stuff mean.
I like the
Like a
attitude.
challenge.
You sound like you underestimating me. And the rule is never I ain't even gonna tell you that. Just do what you do.
Sound like
Just
a
make sure you ain't
challenge.
by me, cause I'm gonna put a little bit of sugar in your shit.
Put some sugar in your thing.
Little sabotage.
What? Do what
Uncle,
you
I
gotta do.
need you to be 100% honest that when Ryan's shit is so nasty, like you have
I'm
to.
gonna be honest.
You
I ain't
have
gonna-
to tell him.
I'm gonna be honest.
I already know. I already hear. He gonna be like, nephew. I ain't gonna lie.
Every
be
time I
honest,
see
man.
Lil
You know I
Jamie in
love
the
you,
kitchen,
nephew.
every time I see Lil Jamie in the kitchen, when she was making that guacamole, I said,
She's so fine.
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's
I
a
wasn't
gift though.
doing
That's a
it.
gift of
It
hers.
is,
Like
it
that's
is.
she naturally good at
I
that.
was trying
Because
to
she don't
go
even
party.
she don't even enjoy it that much. And
Yeah.
She is naturally.
She's just
good.
good at it, yeah.
She gonna get it though.
Yeah.
I think we might be good. Hold on, let me see if I got any more advice. We got some more. Hold on. We wait for perfection of a plan instead of getting started.
For sure.
We always want to wait to have the right plan, the perfect time.
For sure.
When is the perfect time?
No such thing.
There's no such thing as a perfect time.
You just got to get out there and do it.
Today.
Yeah.
Today is a perfect time. Perfect day. Like I said, we talk about all the time about how YouTube is free. Right?
People making millions.
And you
Free.
can reach anybody in the whole world.
Yeah.
In the world. You know, so you're right. Like it's like no right time to start any business. We gonna make excuses of why we can't do this, why we can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's never right time.
Yeah.
Right now it's a pandemic. But y'all still doing y'all thing, right?
Yeah. We talked about that. My nigga. Hold on, let me find my nigga.
Gotta do it, man.
It's like
if
really
you,
nigga.
if you wake up and you got air in your lungs, you got your eyes can open.
Blink.
It's the
Yeah.
perfect time.
Yeah. Absolutely.
For sure.
Levels to working hard. And this was inspired by Kobe. Levels to working hard.
My guy.
Everybody in the league work hard, but when it's a certain level though. Like everybody,
Mentality.
it's a level.
That MM.
And listen, that mob mentality is different. Everybody can't. And I thought about this. Jordan has a certain level. There's nobody like Jordan. Kobe had a certain level. There was nobody like Kobe. Like, who has this level of? We go to the gym. You can teach me how to shoot, but are you gonna be at a level like I'll make it up? 3 a.m. I'm already full sweat before practice.
Hell
After practice,
no.
it's a different level. Look,
Hell no.
it's a different level.
Yeah.
I think once you realize, like even with the podcast, I think we finding our niche, but at a certain point we gotta get to a different level. Like once we will become the biggest podcast in Dallas. Like that's a
Oh,
manifestation.
for sure.
But once we
In
get
the
that
country.
point, yeah, hold on. But once we get to that point, we gotta
got
level
you.
up. Like how we
got
gonna
you.
be we gotta wake up like, all right, it's 3 a.m. We gotta what's up? We up, we working. Like it's a different level.
Yeah.
So I learned that from Kobe. Like when they telling stories about Kobe, they think Kobe crazy, but that's a different type of crazy as to where he got to where he is.
Yeah.
I believe that. I
Yeah.
remember I had like got in contact with this dude and Chuck Tate, shout out. I remember I used to talk to him all the time and he'd be like, I'm up at 5 a.m. at the gym every day. And I'm like, bro, I'm trying to sleep until my alarm is screaming at me. And so I said, all right, I'm about to start. With this pandemic, I was like, I'm going to start trying to get up at 7 in the morning and work out. That was the best thing that I think I've ever could have done, because I started getting up at 7, working out, eating breakfast, then hopping on for work. And it's like my whole day is done.
Yeah.
Now when I'm done with my day, I can chill.
Yeah.
I can chill, because I used to be like, I'm going to work out after work. After work, I'm tired. I just want to go upstairs and go to sleep. Like, it was like, if he hadn't have told me, like, Ebony, like, if you get your butt up early in the day, you got the whole rest of your day.
Yeah.
So it is all about your mentality and, like, what you can actually do.
Yeah, levels. It's different.
Yeah. Perception, how he perceived the game of basketball. Even when we look at things in our life, like, we look at the bad things in our life and we like, if we really put it into perspective.
Yeah.
Or should I say a different perspective? Look at it at a different angle.
Yeah.
A lot of times things don't be as bad as you think it is. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes,
Ever.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like if you look at some things, like we talk about failures, talk about just whatever, y'all talk about relationships or whatever, or anything in life, period. A lot of things ain't bad as you, like it's all about how you perceive it, you know?
Yeah.
So his perception on the game was different than anybody else, because everybody else, it was just like they wanted to win, but they didn't want to win like consecutively. Like he wanted to win like every time.
They was
every
cool with
time.
one ring. He wanted like every ring that year, like every year. Yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna go around, we're gonna give out one piece of advice to get to your purpose. One advice I would give recently that I'm doing, it's not the best advice, but this is something that definitely helped me recently, is watch the video, and he said, if you don't touch your phone the first thing in your morning, you can raise your productivity by 30%. So that first hour, don't touch your phone. Just go do something, whatever it is, go do something. So what I did yesterday and this morning is I set my timer 60 minutes and I just got up. The first time I did it, I was bored. I was like, what the fuck I'm finna do? Sat there, watched this, just folded clothes. It was just 10 minutes went by. But I started working on my shit. I started working on my book. And I got a lot more done in this amount of time than I could have been getting it done if I wasn't on my phone.
Yeah.
Man, put that phone, you just don't realize that phone, if you don't have a balance, that phone will snatch your dreams away so fast.
Yeah.
Like, have a balance, man. Your phone is for communication, but don't think your phone is the end of all be. Like, put that phone down, man, for real. Don't get lost in the phone.
Yeah.
That'll be mine. What's y'all's?
I'm going to go with distractions in general. I know I'm the type of person somebody could call me and I'm going to answer.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily me waking up in the morning and looking at my phone, like on Instagram. It's if somebody calls me, in my mind immediately, I'm like, I need to answer for them. And they can get on the phone and just be gossiping.
Yeah.
And you got to learn how to say, oh, okay, this is not going towards what I'm trying to do with myself, so I'm gonna let you go so I can work on what I got going on. And that was a struggle, because I never wanted anybody to feel like I wasn't there for them. But it is getting more and more to the point where I'm not answering my phone. Like, I can see it ring, I can see the text pop up, and I've even went to the extent to turn my notifications off so I don't even see when somebody texts me as soon as they text me. But it's just like, you have to learn to separate your goals from what's important and what's not.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean, you know what? The same thing, man. I hate to piggyback off y'all, but what y'all saying is so vital. It's so important, because that phone, being focused, self-control, discipline, all those things go hand in hand. So like you said, if you can get up in the morning and not touch your phone and do something else, you are practicing self-control and discipline. With you, if you you're not doing those things you're talking about, you staying focused. Because even with me, like, I hear that thing, I could be doing something. I know I should be doing this. I could be typing, writing something down, whatever. I hear that thing, I grab my phone. Now my whole focus just got broken. Right? So if we learn how to ignore those things and continue to have self-control and stay focused, like when you're doing something, try to focus on that one thing no matter what's going on around you. If the house ain't on fire, stay focused on that one thing. Stay focused. Continue to practice self-control and discipline.
For sure.
All right. That wraps up another episode of Unsolicited Opinions.
Unsolicited Opinions.
We thank y'all for tuning in so much. We thank you for our special guest, Jamo.
Uncle Jamie.
Did you plug in the YouTube?
Yeah, he did, but go ahead and plug it in.
Yeah, plug in the YouTube again.
Watch Jamo cook on YouTube.
Watch Jamo cook.
Jamo cook. Yeah, check it out. Try the recipes. I'm getting some feedback. People leaving pictures and stuff. So yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
If y'all try it, man. Leave me some in the comments. Let me know.
I
Give
should
me a
have
picture or
posted my
something like that.
picture of
Yeah.
the potatoes and the Brussels
doubt.
sprouts.
Man, we thank y'all so much for tuning in. We on episode 5. We got a lot more to go. We appreciate y'all love and support. The comments, subscribe, unsolicited _opinions 20 on IG. Man, we appreciate y'all and love y'all. Keep supporting.
Amen.